This podcast series, Contextualizing Feminist Voices, is designed to provide background information for people using the Global Feminisms Project website. The podcast aimed to provide users with a well-informed perspective on interesting aspects of the interviews from a particular country. For each episode, one of the project staff interviews an expert on that country site. Welcome to this episode of Contextualizing Feminist Voices. My name is Shelly Grabe. In this episode, I am talking with Karen Bernedo, curator and researcher of visual anthropology and gender studies. She is professor at Universidad, Científica del Sur and a founding member of the award-winning Peripatetic Museum of Art and Memory. Karen will provide a perspective on the interviews from Peru. Thank you for being here, Karen, and I'll get right to the point. Karen, what are one or two themes that come up in the interviews that users should pay close attention to? Because those themes are particularly important in Peru's women's movement, scholarship, or activism.
Oh, hi, Shelly. Hi, everybody. A common theme that has appeared in the interviews has been related to the vision of the feminist movement itself, because besides the different experiences and generations the interviewers belong, they will agree in the importance of the recognition of the diversity that exists among feminists in Peru. And many of the interviewers have agreed that intersectional approach is a very challenging perspective for the feminist movement. Another thing that has come up in several of the interviews has been the issue of violence against women. In Peru, femicides and sexual violence hit all social layers, and violence occurs in the countryside and in the city. Numbers, statistics are really alarming. And I think that many of the interviewers from their different spheres of action have done projects, action, and different activities to contribute to the reduction of such violence.
Thank you, Karen. And what are one or two important things about feminist activism in Peru for people to keep in mind that are not covered in the written introductory information on the website?
I think that something that should be taken into consideration, particularly the context in which the interviews took place, is the proximity to the bicentennial of our country's independence. Because many projects has been in dialoguing with that horizon, and also is a very special moment to review the past, but also look at the future. And the other important context to take into account is the presidential elections. It is a particularly convulsed moment since the feminist movement, as well as social organizations, LGBTQ community, indigenous and leftist organizations, dialogue directly with this moment since their agendas. And also because many of the interviewers have run for candidates, Congress candidates, so they have been really involved to this political moment, to particularly this political context.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for listening to this episode of Contextualizing Feminist Voices, created by the Global Feminisms Project. The entire podcast team hopes it will help you understand and enjoy the materials on the website. If you like this episode, check out the other podcasts in this series, as well as materials about countries, teaching resources, and interviews.